So, WWE 2K19 has been officially announced, and it has been met with not so much excitement, but more so concern. And I'm not kidding when I say this. When I went onto Twitter and I saw the announcement made by 2K themselves, the comments section itself was just flooded by concerned fans, fellow players, and basically people just picking out things that they feel that is wrong with the WWE video game series thus far. And as you can tell from what you read, is that this is my WWE 2K19 official wish list. Now I'm going to run through just a few things. I won't be too long into this, but my initial thought when this came out is obviously great. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that 2K19 was going to be the next installation. However, I do feel as if now would probably be the better time. If not, it's too late to bring back the old title of SmackDown vs. Raw. The time to do that would have been when the draft and the brand split initially came back in 2016 for 2K17. However, 2K have stuck to their guns and decided to stay with the 2K name. So, onto the list, shall we? And for the first one, I shall be discussing my thoughts and feelings towards the roster and what the 2K19 roster should look like. And my thoughts is that it needs to be updated majorly. And when I mean updated, I obviously do mean new additions to the roster, NXT men. Heck, I'd even take Babatunde. Well, not so much because he's actually hasn't been on TV. But I mean, just chop out all the ones who are outdated, such as the Tatsumi Fujinamis, the Natural Disasters, even the Von Erichs and Larry Zbyszko. Quite frankly, I mean, I don't think I've ever played as the Von Erichs, no offense to them, or Tatsumi Fujinami. However, it was so outdated. I mean, back when they were DLC, all of them were DLC for 2K16 and 17. They fit great for the showcase mode there and then. However, in my universe mode and everything else, it's outdated and I barely use them. And we need to use more modern superstars such as NXT's, as I said before. Otis Dojovic, Tucker Knight. Well, they're shoe-ins, but I think they should focus not so much on the legends and gaining their contracts, but they should focus on the NXT lot and include them. Because for me, if I have the ability to play as someone on the game, I'm more likely to back them in real life events. That's my way of doing it. Obviously, as I said, there's such legends you do need in the game, such as Stone Cold and The Rock. Going back to the legends as well, the outdated ones, get rid of them. And obviously, in regards to some of the legends that would be would stay into the game, such as DDP and Booker T and the New Age Outlaws, just to name a few. I'd put the New Age Outlaws back in. However, I wouldn't. For Booker T, I wouldn't keep his 2001 look. DDP, I wouldn't have his WCW look, and the New Age Outlaws, I wouldn't have their Attitude Era look. I keep the Attitude Era attire in there. However, I would also add on the returns for the New Age Outlaws. I'd include the 2002 DDP. Heck, even put the attire of WrestleMania 32. Why not? But for Booker T, I'd have an attire for him as 2006, 2011 return. The longer hair, the way he looks now. Because the way I prefer my games is that I like to incorporate the legends in as if the ones that are still alive today, and it just looks silly having DDP come out with his 1998 hair in 2018. That's the way. It's just I want as much realism and as modern as possible. Now I know that in regards to the roster, W2K last year completely focused on the fact how 2K18 was the largest roster yet, and when you think about it, it is true. However, they have cheaply achieve that goal by having 5 versions of Sting: 1988, 1990, 1999, 1998, and the modern day Sting. That's 5. That's ridiculous. And quite frankly, you could easily just you can at least make 3 versions instead of 5. Have 19, well, Surfer Sting, Crow Sting, / NWO Sting, and Modern Day Sting. But also we got 3 Triple H's, 2 Shawn Michaels. I think we got 3 Undertakers as well. It's way too much, and that's the way they managed to work their way around having the largest roster ever. Now, just imagine a roster which is the largest ever, but not filled up with such bollocks as alternate versions. These versions need to be put in as alternate attires, but I'm not confident. That's one of the things which I don't like. And quite surprisingly, when I saw the initial tweet from 2K, a lot of people weren't actually discussing the roster. They were mostly discussing the gameplay and game modes. But however, I didn't really see anybody mention about the fact of 5 Stings. I don't want to pick on Sting, but that is just extremely overkill. Yes, now I would have every all the multiple versions of one wrestler, put them under one slot, then break it down into attires, and I'd even have them, able to edit the attires and everything. However, I do believe I get into that in a bit. Yes, so as for my second section, it is the Creation Suite, which I believe I'm going to get into now. I'd have it into... See, what I would do is that I'm going to break this down into 2 areas. I'm going to focus on the Creation Suite, because everything else is fine. However, I will quickly insert this because I haven't got this written down in my notes. So on Create an Arena and Create a Show, they should not be 2 separate things. They should be 1 separate thing. As soon as you finish, I know it has the option to do that, but I mean, I know it has the option to, once you finish Create an Arena, you then go Create a Show. However, that should be a part of it, not have to go from one section, wait a minute and a half to another section. It should be a part of it, part of the options. It's not rocket science, for Christ's sake. Yes, no, the entrances. However, I, as well as many others, do believe that you should have the ability to import music, videos for Titantron, and I know that one of the initial, when 2K15 came out, one of the things that was mentioned was the fact you cannot upload your own music, unlike PS3, Xbox 360. However, I do believe that it is possible. And I know that a lot of people are going to complain about copyright reasons. However, 2K18, they've given us the option to upload a logo. Very much kind of as a Dropbox format. You go on, you save it into this storage space, and it's inputted into your game. Same thing for videos for Titantrons. Obviously, the file size for video would be extremely large. However, if you just put it down to 30 seconds and have that on a continuous loop, or a minute, it shouldn't be too bad. And for music, the copyright idea is, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, a load of bollocks. Because as far as I'm aware, you are allowed to use music, allowed to use, say a DVD for home use and entertainment purposes only, as long as you're not making any money from it, or copyright, or selling it on, or something along those lines. However, there are people who do use those universe modes where they like to insert their own custom music, or shall we say, or the correct music, other than some generic bollocks from the other, from create an entrance. However, I do think that they need to worry about the whole copyright thing. Let us worry about it if we so choose to load our footage which involves music that isn't available from the game. Let us worry about the copyright side. All you need to do is just put it in. It should be fine for someone like me to just sit in my front room and have Jerry Lawler come out to his actual theme music than some stupid generic bullshit. Just saying. It ain't that fucking hard as well. Oh yes, and in regards to superstars, I mean, you cannot complain with the variety of things you can customize in your superstar or wrestler. However, I don't want to have to sacrifice, and this is in regards to create a superstar, edit a superstar. All in all, it's a very great feature. However, I don't like the fact that you have only 2 slots for an attire. I want back to, well, say in the Xbox 360, 2K14, you'd have a total about 4. So it's double that. Jesus Christ. And one thing which I do not want is, when I'm editing a superstar, I do not, as in a current superstar, as in, say if I'm editing the Big Show. If I want to change him to have a 2-strap singlet to 1-strap singlet, I'm going to have to sacrifice one of my Create a Wrestler spots just to bloody have him change attire. That shouldn't be the way. That shouldn't be the way it goes. I don't want to sacrifice one spot for one fucking attire for someone who's already on the damn game. I want to use my spots for the people I create. So obviously, bring back the way it used to be on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, where you give everybody their own separate attires instead of just having it attire slots. So instead of having it where you just change the color from black to red, why not have it as the creation suite where it is now on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, where you can make anything. I can have 4 spots. So the first spot would be, the first attire slot will be the original slot. So say for Big Show, it's the 2 straps. The second one, I can have 1 strap. The third attire slot, I can have a street clothes when he wants to cut a promo. And the other one, I don't know, I could probably, I can have him dressed up as Giant Gonzalez. Why the bloody hell not? It's again, I feel like I'm a broken record. I've only just been recording for 10 minutes. That is not that hard to come up with. I'm not a fucking game designer, but surely that's not. Yes, I do apologise for getting off a little bit there, but oh well. And the thing is, the only other thing I'd add on to Create a Wrestler is the fact that obviously, when you create an attire, you have the option to change their entrance and moveset, kind of like the Stings. However, I want to have the ability where you could pick your own personality traits. And what I mean by that is, I know Fire Pro Wrestling World, which is very big which based in Japan, it's coming out in summer, and apparently you get to fiddle around with the AI and their personality and the style, shall we say. So what I thought, why not just put that onto this? Because surely, that again, no-brainer. Like, have this little bar where you use a slider to the left, to the right, to choose which one they're most likely to do. So let's say, I don't know, likes using weapons. That's the title, and you have the slider. So if you slide it all the way to the left-hand side, the person in question, the wrestler in question, is most likely to use a weapon. If you go all the way to the right-hand side, it's least likely to use a weapon. So they would not fail, but they wouldn't thrive in a hardcore or extreme rules match, because that's not the way they do it. As well as taunts much, left to taunt much, right to be focused, and risk taker, as in high flyer and OMG moments where they could possibly get hurt, as well as play it safe. But other than that, the creation suite is pretty good. Just add those things to it, alter a few things in regards to the entire slots, and then I guarantee no one else will be complaining at all. And the next section is the game modes. And for me, I saw people say that they would completely remove my career mode for something like General Manager mode or Road to WrestleMania. However, for me, I would keep my career mode, because I'd keep career mode, but I wouldn't have it where it's focused on a created wrestler. I would have it very much like SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, where you get to pick your own wrestler and go from there. It'll be a hell of a lot of work if you really want to include voice acting. However, for that, I'd be fine. I'm fine with it where you incorporate voice acting within it. It's fine. The writing could be done a whole lot better. I'm not saying I can do better, but it could be better nonetheless. So I keep my career mode, and I've got here in my notes saying, or bring back Road to WrestleMania mode. However, after thinking about this, I'm going to get to this in a bit. I would still include Road to WrestleMania mode. However, I'm going to bring this back a little bit later on. However, for an additional mode that I would actually replace Universe mode with is, drumroll please, General Manager mode. Obviously, people have been just clamoring for this to return for many years. I know it's not 2K that removed it. It was THQ. However, there were so many high hopes when they bought out not bought out, because THQ pretty much died a death. When 2K bought the rights for WWE, people had high hopes just beyond belief. And even I did. I thought it would be absolutely fantastic if 2K14 was a renowned success. However, they've just completely ignored everyone's wishes and requests to bring back such a successful and pretty much diverse mode such as General Manager. I mean, Jesus Christ, when I finished secondary school, or high school as some people put it, as soon as I finished my exams, as soon as I finished prom and everything, I had June, July and August off until I started what would be college. I literally played General Manager mode. I perfected my ways of managing. That's the only managerial experience I've got, by the way, is through shitty wrestling game modes. However, I managed to win, and it was a great 3 months. Some people may say, what a waste of life. I say it was a resounding success. However, so I would keep it the way the SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, 2008 did. However, I would have, obviously I'd send all your focus onto that if you want to. Because, however, 2K17, 2K18, they mainly focused on my career mode as well as universe mode. However, I just... I don't know which one I would actually focus more on, whether it will be career mode or general manager mode. Or why not both? I mean, heavily focus on both, for Christ's sake. But if you had to pick one to focus on, it would have to be my career mode. That thing seriously needs an overhaul. General manager mode, if you give us a shell of what we're going to get with updates and with constant patches and added content, it'll be fine. It'll be forgivable. At least you bring that damn mode back. However, so Shell will be fine if only you can control Raw, SmackDown, NXT. That's fine. However, ideally, I would like to have the option to be able to create and manage my own brands, such as, if I wanted to, I can create TNA, I can create WCW, I can create a ECW, and then go head-to-head with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and everything. So that would have the universe mode element still in there, where I can edit the weekly shows and the pay-per-views. That would be great. But that would be as I said, of a more updated, patched version of it. If you just give us the fact we can only work with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, I, as well as many other people, will be absolutely happy with that. And this one is which I am extremely shocked that for many years, it must be coming up to 10 years now, or near enough 10 years, that no one has ever spoken about this mode except me. Well, obviously I've never spoken about it in public or anything like that, but I've always had this vision of bringing it back, and vision. I've always thought that this is a fantastic feature, and you may be reading this saying, "What the hell is Superstar Imports?" Not 2K. Many years ago, this must be going back to 2009, if not a little bit 2010. THQ, there we go, get my words out. THQ decided to make an arcade-styled video game called Legends of WrestleMania. And one of the features of it is that you can go into, if you've got SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 saved data already on the game and hard drive, you can go into import a Superstar, and you can import all the available wrestlers from SmackDown vs. Raw and put them onto the game of Legends of WrestleMania. So I can have dream matches like Andre the Giant versus Big Show, or Hulk Hogan versus John Cena on this game. And I thought it was amazing at the time. I absolutely loved it. And not only that, you can even import your creator wrestlers as well. Now, it would save me a lot of time. Because, okay, let's say Hulk Hogan doesn't make his return and doesn't appear on 2K19. That's fine, as long as this feature's in it. I can easily go on my 2K18 save data, and there's a fantastic Hulk Hogan model on there, which I haven't made, I downloaded. Fantastic Hulk Hogan model on there, I can use that, just import everything. The logos, the facial pictures that you can upload, everything. Take that model and put it into 2K19. So it saves me hours, saves someone hours of trying to recreate Hulk Hogan, recreate Kenny Omega, recreate Hiroshi Tanahashi when they're already on a previous game. Just go onto your save file and just basically copy and paste the model. Okay, you don't have to copy the moveset, the entrances. That'll be fine with me. I don't mind focusing on the moveset and focusing on the entrance, just as long as I got a damn good model, which is already on a previous game. I'm surprised how no one has ever brought this up in any wishlist, video, podcast, or whatever, or ever mentioned on any forums or anything. I thought this was just a definite shoo-in of a fantastic feature that people will love. I loved it, and I was, what, like 9 years younger? And if someone 9 years younger than me can fucking remember this over the many years, surely you can. There was something else I wanted to say about that. There was something else. What the hell? Oh, yes, that was it. As well as creator wrestlers as well. Now this is pushing it a bit, but it is a wish list, not a let's be realistic list, even though I'd like to put as much realism as possible. So, say, okay, now I want CM Punk in my video game, 2K19. However, the creator wrestler I got on it isn't as good as, say, the one on 2K15 or whatever. So why not just go to 2K15, which I've got installed, save data and everything, pick out the model and put it in 2K19 under as a creator wrestler. I know that's obviously extremely difficult, probably with copyright, especially with someone like CM Punk. However, that's just a wish list. I think that would be nice. Obviously, don't bring over his moveset or his entrance. Again, let me sort that out. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic feature that I am shocked and appalled that everyone's forgot. It's a gem. It is a gem. So the next one is microtransactions. Now, I do remember, well, obviously everyone remembers that on 2K18 they have this lovely little feature that everyone just so loves and just cannot get enough of, called loot boxes. Now, you may remember what the reaction and what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2 when they included loot boxes. Now, it was an absolute slap to the face of everybody, and it is a waste of a feature. And if they dare include loot boxes which involves microtransactions, then I swear to God, I would not buy 2K19, and I would request for a refund anyway. That would piss me off that damn much. Now for 2K18, not microtransactions, they didn't have it, thank Christ for that, but you guarantee it will come along. They had loot boxes. And say I wanted to, I don't know, make the Iron Sheik or have the Iron Sheik's boots for my career mode. Now that's locked, and the only way those shoes are locked, and the only way for me to unlock those shoes is by using my in-game currency to buy a loot box and pray to the WWE 2K gods that Iron Sheik's shoes appear. However, 9 times out of 10, the one item that you want, or the one feature that you want, or whatever, does not appear. Basically, it's gambling. I hate gambling. I'm not a betting man, but if that includes it, if that is included again, you can guarantee that I wouldn't be playing my career mode. But if it includes actual microtransactions instead of in-game currency, again, I would not be a happy camper, and I guarantee that 2K would be set on fire. Not literally. Someone's not going to go to the 2K headquarters and set fire to it, even though it is very tempting if that does happen. It will get their asses will get burnt online. No, but in microtransactions as a whole, I hate them. I hate mobile video games, especially like say, I don't need to explain it to you, but it's ridiculous considering the fact that you make Simpsons Tapped Out. Let's go to. You're making, I don't bloody know, the school, and in actual real life, it will take 24 hours to build a building, which you can't do other than tap with your finger. And say you need, what do they use? They use donuts. And if you want to speed up the building process, so from 24 hours to 30 seconds, you have to, exchange a certain amount of donuts. So say if I use my donuts to create the nuclear power plant, that's all my donuts gone, no more, and I do not want to wait 24 hours. I'm going to have to go onto the shop and actually use my actual hard-earned money to buy virtual donuts. I like donuts in real life, but I'm not damn sure going to buy fucking virtual ones. No, and the prices are absolutely stupid. It's like £90, £90 for like 2,000 donuts. It's just, it's an abomination, for Christ's sake. But let's quickly go on to the next one, shall we? The gameplay, the main thing is, though, is that it's the personality traits about this. Like I said when creating Wrestler, the fighting everybody has just become so sameish. That's the problem with 2K. It's all outdated, it's all the same, and it's all the same shit. If I can have the AI think differently and adapt from what I've set them as what 2K have set their personality-wise, then fighting, I don't know, Andre the Giant will be a whole lot different than fighting Big Show because of the way that they think, not only because they're big men. The whole thing, you know what I mean. Just go play Fire Pro Wrestling World, and soon it'll be coming out, and it's just a whole lot more. Yeah, it's a whole lot more easy to explain if you just go play that damn game. However, just one other thing is that selling, for Christ's sake. I don't know if this counts as gameplay, but however, it's the part of the matches which you play, so I suppose it is gameplay. Selling, for Christ's sake. So say if my guy has got orange arms, and I don't mean visually orange, but in the damage meter, their arms are on the red or the orange zone. So say they're heavily damaged, and I decide to go to the top turnbuckle, and I decide to try and perform a superplex. However, because my arms, my back, and my head, and other areas are in the orange zone, I am unable to execute a move like that. That's what I want. That's what is needed. I want it to be more realistic, and I want them to sell. As well as selling, as I'm on about that very quickly, is that, say, when they go do a huge move, like a bloody superplex, just, for Christ's sake, man, it's just, if you're hurting, stay the fuck down like they do in real life. If I land on my shoulder, I want my shoulder is on the orange zone and now on the bloody red zone. I want my guy to literally roll on the floor, writhing in pain, grabbing onto his damn shoulder, not hit the move, lie down like a dead fish for a few seconds, take a few deep breaths, and up and ready to kick ass. That's not the way it should go. Ugh. Next one is the loading time. This, I guarantee this little segment right here about the loading time will be quicker than the actual damn loading times on 2K18 and 17. Basically, I don't know how. I'm not a game developer. I've got no knowledge or experience in regards to creating a game. However, loading time seriously needs to be sped up. I don't know what the hell needs to be done. It just needs to be sped up, and needs to be sped up ASAP. Okay, so we've got logo limit, DLC, and updates. And I'm also going to very quickly touch up on commentary. That should actually go under the gameplay. I just thought of it in my head. Commentary, as you know, is absolutely terrible. Well, it's absolutely so terrible. I mean, for example, not only do they say one-liners that it doesn't match up to what the hell's going on the bloody ring, but when I'm playing as a man, Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves are talking as if it's a woman. Oh, she's in trouble now. What is she going to do to get out of this one? I swear to God, fucking Neville was called Sasha Banks the other day. It's ridiculous. That's just damn unacceptable. And the fact that you give them shitty one-liners, which just does not flow naturally, is just terrible. I wouldn't say give them an overhaul. Keep the modern commentators in. But if you want to have someone to have a natural flowing conversation about the wrestlers who are on the damn screen, why not get JR and the King in? I mean, come on, I guess they are fairly busy, but they're not too busy to just spend, I don't know, a week and a half or 2 weeks doing fucking lines. You spend about 9 hours a day in there doing lines, give them a natural flowing conversation about Stone Cold, about The Rock. Surely JR and King could just do their magic, and it would just be a whole lot better than what the other commentators can do. Now, on to the logo limit, and what I mean by that is when you're downloading, okay, obviously when you download a Creative Superstar, you're downloading facial scans, you're downloading additional logos, and some people put like a t-shirt, but basically a t-shirt design on, and it's downloaded as a logo. The thing is, though, is about that is the fact that the limit is, I find, too small. Is not large enough. We need a bigger limit of how much we can download. And the thing about logos is what gets me riled up mostly, other than the limit, is the fact that say I have downloaded let's say I downloaded the Sandman. So I've got a facial recognition scan of the Sandman. I've got let's say I've got the tattoo scanned in, his barbed wire arm, as well as the t-shirt scanned in, as well as other attires. That's about, I don't know, say about 10, 12 logos right there downloaded. Say if I want to delete Sandman, the model itself will be deleted and I will not be able to use him, obviously. However, the logos are still on the game. And obviously that builds up once you download more and more logos. And eventually it gets to a point where no more logos can be downloaded. So your whole download process has been halted. So you're going to have to go through this ridiculously long list. I know it said it's not long enough, but damn it, with this, you won't have to go through this damn list ever again. With this ridiculously long list, you've got to look through every single one of those logos you've downloaded, and you've got to... And it does, thank Christ, it tells you whether it's in use or not. And then you got to click delete or whatever. It's a ball ache, it's a pain in the ass, and it's a terrible, terrible task for a gamer to go through. Now, DLC. I did mention earlier on about Road to WrestleMania in regards to game modes. However, DLC... what I was going to mention about that is you need to make it worth it, for Christ's sake. New moveset, no. New wrestlers, no. What I would have is that if you can't put GM mode in 2K19, I would simply split the developing team of 2K Sports in half. And I'd have half of the team working on the next year's edition, so 2K20, and half the team working on downloadable content and updates. I'll get to the updates in a second, but downloadable content needs to be great things. It needs to be... I would have Showcase mode as a downloadable content, Road to WrestleMania, and General Manager mode if they'd want to keep Universe mode in, and my career mode. That will be my DLCs. It'll be 3 big DLCs at a fair price. I'm not going to go completely overboard with the pricing. I don't know, $5. I think £5 for those modes each would be great. Obviously, Road to WrestleMania, I suppose you could take that down to £2.50, say have a woman's Road to WrestleMania, have a tag team, a cruiserweight, a main eventer. I pay for that. And GM mode, one big chunk. Showcase mode, I don't know, have the Rise of the Rock or NXT's Greatest Hits. And then you can have additional characters with those DLC packs and everything. It's just make it worth it, for Christ's sake. It's an additional £20. It must be about £30 for the season pass. And when you look at it, the only one good thing about the season pass is the Next Generation and the Hardy Boys. Everything else is just a load of bollocks. I'm sorry, but it is a load of bollocks. And speaking of DLCs, or really moving on to the updates here, what I would do is that going back to how outdated 2K video games, or the WWE 2K video games, how outdated they get, is ridiculous. I don't know, it comes out in October, and by December, John Cena's got a different coloured t-shirt. What I want then is for WWE 2K to capitalise, that's the word I'm thinking of, to capitalise on the fact that he's changed his t-shirt, quickly scan it in, and I mean quickly as in make the quality good, for Christ's sake, not just change the colour but have the same logo, say, from going from orange to black. No, I'd have that. You update attires. You, if needs be, replace attires, for Christ's sake, to save a bit of space. I'd update attires. I'd add, if anyone who is worthy or can get scanned in debuts or makes returns, scan them in, put them in, bang, brand new character. Now, obviously, you may be thinking this is going to take up a lot of time. You need to be compensated for that. I would gladly pay, as well as on top of the DLC, so the £5 each, £2.50 each. I would pay £20 as one set price, because I hate these little, you pay for this, you pay for that, you pay for this, you pay for that, even though I did suggest that for DLC, but that's when Season Pass comes in. Or include this in the Season Pass as well. So have it, okay, if you're going to include this in Season Pass, have this for about, I'll have the Season Pass about, there you go, £30 or £35. I was going to say 50, but I think that's way too much. However, I pay something like £20 to have this update feature as long as it's bloody good and fucking worth it, I must add. So yeah, update, people will come in, update wrestling music, update videos, update attires, update, bloody update, and have the other half, which I mentioned about, talk about next year's game, instead of having them work on a title that's meant to come out 1 year from now, the next year, I just leave it a year. Just leave the whole releasing a new game and focusing on a new game for a damn year. Have that one half of the team create a damn good game, and eventually say, I don't know, let's say September of. Okay, so it comes out October this year. Have the update, so September of next year. No, not next year. The year after. That's the official no more updates. Then you just have that the rest of the team work on 2K whatever, or WWE Here Comes the Pain Part 2 or whatever. It made a lot more sense in my head before blabbering out to you. It just seriously needs updating. It seriously needs to just try its best to hang in there and just stay current and relevant. And the last little bit is just my little final thoughts. With everything that I said, with everything, if they can make it a possibility, this could be a whole lot better than Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, WWE 13, and 2K16 put together. It could be, but it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because I don't trust 2K to make this amazing wish list, if I may say so, a thing. However, I know the date that I'm publishing this on, it's probably too late. They've probably already got a crappy mode and barely any updates. But hey ho, that's fine. 2K can have a listen to this if they so wish, and just think about it. That's all I'm asking, is just think about it. And yeah, it's just not that hard. I've tried to explain myself as best as I humanly can. But yes, no. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm skeptical. I'm nervous. More nervous than excited. But no, I mean, if it is anything like 2K18, I may have to make a pass. But we shall see. Thank you ever so much for listening. I know it's been going on for 38 minutes now. But if you appreciated this, give me a like, subscribe. I want to know what you would like in 2K19 and the future games. Give me your thoughts, because I actually would like to know. But no, thank you again, and see you soon.